Hello and welcome, I'm Prue Goward. As the New South Wales Minister for Women, I'm pleased to present the following documentary on women in non-traditional trades. It's true that women's legal rights and social opportunities have grown over the last 4 decades. Equal pay, anti-discrimination and maternity leave laws, specialised services for women and changes in society's values have all played a part in creating a more equal society in New South Wales. However, there are still areas where the outcomes for girls and women are poorer than for boys and men. Women's employment potential is one of the great untapped resources for New South Wales. Historically, women have chosen jobs from a narrow field of options. Industries that employ high levels of tradespeople, such as mining and construction, are experiencing growth. We need to harness this growth and the skill shortages that come with it as an opportunity to support women and girls to enter these industries and careers. As Minister for Women, I want to see more women take up a non-traditional trade. As we know, women have traditionally made very successful careers in trades, such as hairdressing and cookery. Historically, these have often been low paid. I want girls at school and women changing careers or re-entering the workforce to realise you have more options to choose from. For girls and women watching this documentary, my hope is that you will consider careers in a much wider range of fields, such as plumbers, electricians, carpenters, signwriters, motor mechanics, welders and painters. This is only a small taste of the world of options available to you. The New South Wales Government has committed to increasing the number of women in non-traditional trades by 2021. Increasing the number of women and girls entering these jobs will result in a more productive labour force and in turn allow women to be engaged in interesting and rewarding work that's also higher paid. I hope you enjoy the stories of 4 vibrant women who have chosen unique and fulfilling careers in non-traditional trades and the supportive families and employers that have made a difference for these women. I trust their stories will inspire you.
Girls don't want to do it in a way. Like some girls, they just want to stick with the flow, don't want to go out the barrier lines, whatever you want to call it, because they're afraid what people might think.
Some girls might want to do it, but there's so much stuff going around saying they can't do it or they're not supposed to be. Some girls might be like, oh yeah, I really want to do this, but then they hear a bunch of boys saying, no, girls can't do this, they can't do that, so they don't do it because they think that they're not supposed to. So they think, oh, nah, I can't, so they go do something else that's more girlish, but
they want to fit in.
Support, sense of humour, confidence and brave.
It was an unusual step for a girl to take. And there was no others around that I knew of, but I could sort of ask. So that was it, she was on her own. I had personal doubts that she was doing the right thing. Women are very ambitious when they get the opportunity.
When I was at school, I originally wanted to be a mechanic, and at the start of Year 9 we got to choose our electives, and I chose metalwork automotive, thinking I could probably get in and do a couple of lawnmower engines. And when I started, my class teacher got us to a bit of welding with an oxyacetylene welder, and I loved it. And from that point he told me to go to TAFE and do a thermal welding, cutting and MIG welding course. So I went and did that and absolutely adored it. Some of the difficulties of coming into such a male-dominated trade really was the fact that I was the only girl, and coming into a male area I needed to accept the fact that no one was going to change because I was here. Some of the things that I personally found difficult was the couple of sexist remarks like, oh, you can't do that because you're a girl, you can't lift that, you can't do this, you can't do that. Well, you can, and it takes a bit of effort like anything does, but you can get through there. Even the blokes that I work with, sometimes they ask for help to lift something. If you can't do something, don't push yourself and hurt yourself just to prove a point. If you can't do it, ask for help. I'm not weird. I love metalwork. I love my job. And I do have a boyfriend and I do have a normal life. And outside of work, I don't dress like a man all the time. I do on the weekends, and if I have to go out, I do dress up and look like a girl. And people think that just because you're in a man's job that you're going to be manly. And that's not true. You might have a few more muscles than most girls and your hands might be a bit rougher, but it's all part of it.
Proudest bunch of her. Couldn't be prouder. She had a big head now, if I say too much more. She's a qualified boilermaker, she's a qualified draftsman, so it looks like she's done the right thing. She's got her own path now. She can do what she likes now, you know. I mean, the world's at her feet. They're screaming for blasted artisans, and she's got that behind her, and she's still only 22. I mean, she's got the world at her feet. She can do what she likes, when she likes, how she likes.
I love mostly getting a pile of steel, and that is rusty, like you can see around here, and turn it into something. You have a pile of steel and then you turn it into something of use, something that makes something else work. It's a factor. I like making my worlds incredibly shiny. I don't know if that's just because I'm a girl or but I like making things look beautiful after I've made them. It's a point of pride.
A lot of girls as well get steered into like a different career. Like say, I don't know, like your mum would more like you to do hairdressing or beautician or something like that, when like they kind of steer you in a different way, but it's your choice to do what you like. But I kind of think that your parents steer you in a different way.
Well, when I leave school, I want to continue on with the fitting and machining that I do now. I want to hopefully get an apprenticeship out of it and everything else to do with that, and I absolutely adore it.
I want to build Harleys, chopper bikes, or build cars and stuff and help repair cars like in a body shop. Yeah, I just love to work on Harleys, to do welding, the frames, the tanks, everything. I'd love to do that.
Enthusiasm, willing to take on a challenge, and passion.
Lauren was always a bit of a tomboy, I suppose. She's always sort of been an outdoorish kind of a person. There seem to be a lot more opportunities for females nowadays than what there was years ago in all sorts of trades, and I think the girls are really out there getting into it now.
I was interested in taking on a career in horticulture because I love being outdoors. I enjoy a bit of physical activity, and I just thought it was something that I could really get a challenge with. So for 3 years I went to TAFE, and I was pretty much the only girl in my class. Some girls came and went, but they never really stuck it out. So it was a bit of a challenge to prove the other boys in my class that I could do it. They doubted my knowledge and ability to undertake the physical activity. But at the end of the day, at the end of the course, I topped the class. I received highest achiever in the course, so I really proved them wrong.
Lauren won the My Gateway's Apprentice of the Year. She also got the New South Wales Apprentice of the Year for her field. She won several leadership programs, awards, got the opportunity to meet the Prime Minister and the Governor General. There was several things that she won during her apprenticeship. She was just amazing. I think if inside that person are the capabilities to do something, I don't see why anyone would persuade them not to give it a go. I really don't understand how people could.
So there were barriers. At the beginning I found that all of the uniform was made for men. They didn't actually supply women's uniforms. So for a while there I was wearing men's clothes, baggy men's clothes. Having a trade background was really the key thing to getting my cadetship in City Parks Management. I think having the practical experience really put me above the rest of the applicants. Building upon my background in horticulture, I went into City Parks Management, and since then I've kind of had a bit of a change of focus into recreation planning in local government, and this involves things like planning for playgrounds, parks, our beaches, leisure centres and golf course. Now I'm involved in great projects like building a playground for children, and it's a really pleasing experience to go through the process of consulting with children to come up with a design that they really enjoy.
A boy that's in my class that he wants to be a hairdresser. He cuts his own hair, and it always looks really nice, and he cuts other people's hair. If his friends ask for a haircut, he'll go, "Oh sure, come over," and he'll cut it, and it actually turns out really, really nice. And he has no training at all.
I think it's the same with guys as well. Like if they want to be a hairdresser, I think they would cop a little bit more stuff like off the guys as well, saying, "Oh, why do you want to be a hairdresser for? Like it's a girl's job. Why are you doing that?" It's like the same with us. Like it's like us want to do a men's job.
Yeah, against it being you're a girl, you won't be able to do it. But it'd be good to like show them up and say, yes, I can, get it done.
They just be too scared that you'd be better than them.
Yeah. That's just my opinion.
To be strong, confident, and most importantly, to be yourself.
After school, when we go to the shopping centre, everyone just like stares and points because my mum has like paint all over her and has paint clothes on. But I just ignore it because my mum is a painter.
Whilst I was at school, when I've always wanted to be like a builder or a painter. So I kept asking and asking, and the answer was always no. So I did vet nursing because that was easy to get into. It was a female thing to do. And then in real estate, and it wasn't until I saw across the road that the builders were there that it renewed my passion to be where I truly wanted to be. And so, much to my surprise, I asked a painter through a friend of mine, and he said yes. So just by keep knocking on that door and never giving up on who you really are and the passion on a career that you want to do, it proved to be rewarding, and I've never looked back since, and that was 14 years ago, to the point now where I run my own company and looking to expand to help other girls pursue their dreams. And so my advice is never give up and keep knocking on that door, because it worked for me and it's been great.
Mum's still a regular mum. She picks us up from school, she drops us off at school, and she helps with our homework, and she's there when we need her.
Yeah, over my time as a female painter, I've had some hard times where, mainly with builders, where they're not exposed to having a girl on the job, and they haven't been the best to work with. They've made it quite hard. So to overcome that, instead of showing them that I've been upset by it, I've just turned up on the job every day, and that's annoyed them a bit more, and proven to them that a girl is quite capable of doing the job and can do it properly. And I find that they respect that at the end of the day, and I've changed someone's opinion on having a girl on the job. I just love what I do. I couldn't think of doing anything else. My advice is to parents with young girls that are thinking about entering the trade is to encourage them and give them a go.
My friends think it's really cool that my mum's a painter and decorator, and I think it is too. I couldn't see Mum doing anything else because she loves what she does, and yeah.
I love the fact that you get to give a house another story, another chapter in life, especially in historic restorations. You can bring it back to life and create this new chapter for the new owners and create a lot more colour and exuberance to the property. And it gives me great joy in seeing the client and their joy in renewing their home, because that's their passion. It's the biggest investment they ever make in their life is their own home, and I get that chance to make a difference in the way that home reflects on their personality and bringing it back to life. That's my passion.
My best friend has a passion for woodwork. She goes to this school. She absolutely loved, like, not really metal, but more the wood-based ones. So right now she's doing woodwork and construction, and she absolutely adores those subjects. So she's gotten to the point in her life where she has decided to make a career out of it. Her mum, like, because in woodwork you have to make your small little projects, her mum gets, like, she brings it home and her mum just has the biggest smile on her face. Like, she's really proud of what her daughter's accomplished. And it's cute. It is cute.
As long as you love it, you can do it.
Determined, thick-skinned, sense of humour.
When Amy first started for me, she was cashier, and she used to ask me, you know, how do you make sausages, how do you do this, how do you do that? So I said, oh, come out the back and I'll show you how to do it. And I showed her and she done it, and I thought, gee, she's not too bad at this. And I thought, well, you know, and then she kept joking around. We kept saying something about apprenticeship, and the wife and I, we got together and had a talk, and we decided that it was like a 4-year trade. It was 4 years we have to put her on for. And we did, and came out and told Amy, and I've never seen somebody so excited in all my life as anybody ever thought she won the lottery or something, you know. So fair dinkum, it was excellent.
I'm a butcher. I finished my trade last year in February, so just over 1.5 years, I suppose, being a butcher. I've been working at the shop since I was 16, so that was 10 years ago. I started as a wash-up kid cashier, and I just had a lot of interest in the subject, so my boss eventually decided to offer me an apprenticeship. So that took 4 years, and I ended up topping my class overall, so that was really cool. There was one other girl in my class of about 20, I suppose, and she ended up dropping out after about a month or so that made me the only one. And it's 2.5 years of theory, and the rest is practical to learn actually how to cut the meat and do all that sort of stuff. So it's pretty intense, but it's good. It's quite interesting.
Well, I've had 3 apprentices since I've been in this shop. 2 are male and Amy the female, and she's been equally as good as the other 2. And they're all the same. There's no difference between either. I wouldn't say one was better than the other, but there's no reason why a female can't do just as good a job as a male in the butchering business, you know. So it's funny because people walk in the shop and they'll say, you know, excuse me, but can I talk to the butcher? And then I come out and I say, well, she is a butcher. You know, she has got a certificate to say she is a butcher, and she can suggest to you exactly what I can suggest to you. And people do and have got used to it, but most people are just amazed when they find out that she's a butcher and she's wearing a knife and she cuts meat up on the saw. And it probably is odd to a lot of people, but to me it's just, and Amy, it's just part of our job, our daily job, so it's not a problem. She's proud of it, and so am I. I'm proud of her too, so which is all good.
When I told my dad that I wanted to be a butcher, he was quite happy because we have a few butchers in our family anyway, no females, but he wanted me to just do the best I could do at anything I wanted to try out. So that's pretty much what I did. I've had a few people come into the shop and have a bit of a giggle when they've seen a female butcher. There's also been times when people would rather the males serve them because they didn't think that I could do it properly. But now, because I've been there for so long and I know most of the people, they're more happy for me to do it because they realise that I can now. So it's not so much of a big deal anymore. If you're a parent that has a daughter that wants to go into a trade, the best thing you can do is support them because they'll have something for the rest of their life then. I like interacting with other people. I was very shy when I started working here, and it's really brought me out of my shell, and it's made me a lot more confident to talk to people and joke around and yeah, just interact with people. It's fun because I live around here, and most of the people I already knew anyway, so it's good to see them every day and have fun at work.
If it's something that you truly love, don't let anything stand in your way, because that is how people end up with these lives that they aren't happy with. If you love it, then you just do it.
For other girls considering a trade, I say go for it. It's a great opportunity. You get to meet lots of people and you end up with papers at the end, so at least you'll have a career to fall back on if you choose to do something else.
Most importantly, never give up. If people keep knocking on your back, keep knocking on that door, because one day it will open.
If you have an interest, just pursue it. You'll be amazed how much support you do get once you're actually in the role and undertaking the work.
So we need to be stubborn, strong-minded and self-believing. I want to do something that's going to be good for me in the long run and put me somewhere where I want to be in the future.
I often feel a sense of exhilaration when I see young women working in non-traditional trades and think to myself, wow, that is such an achievement. Good on her. And how hard must it have been to do something different to what society expected? It's not that long ago when we wondered if women could do the same work role as men. Questions such as, how would they cope? What would people think of them? Can women really do it? Such perceptions are based on the outdated view that gender has a bearing on a person's capacity to successfully perform the work of certain jobs. The greatest barriers for women in non-traditional occupations and those considering taking up these occupations are the stereotypes imposed by others. As a woman in a senior executive role within local government, I hope this DVD will inspire young women to consider their futures, to think broadly and boldly about the career paths open to them, and more importantly, to follow their dreams.